That sword was mine. But how did he...
The king abandoned a village that was part of his domain.
Regardless if it was done to ensure our victory, it was still a ruthless act.
Our forces surely would have been victorious without sacrificing that village.
King Arthur has no understanding of the hearts of men.
How can a king who doesn't understand the hearts of his own subjects possibly lead their country?
Agreed. You're right, absolutely.
Saber. Saber. Saber!
きらめく涙は星に風に乗り空を飾る月明かり雲に途切れても僕を照らすまっすぐなレールが嫌で闇雲に駆け出した諦めを決意に変えてすり減ったかかと誇る道は続く西へ東へ日は沈んでもきらめく涙は星に風に乗り空を飾る月明かり雲に途切れても僕を照らす
She did everything she could as King Arthur to protect her people. So why did they blame her for all their problems? And why did Saber stand there and take it, right up until the very end?
It's because I have an obligation I couldn't fulfill when I was alive.
I wonder if this is what she was talking about. About wanting to do things over.
This is really putting my appetite into high gear! Save some room, there's dessert too. Dessert? What kind of dessert? You're gonna have to wait, I'm afraid. Oh, come on! Don't do that! Tell me! Morning. Wow, look at all the food. That's quite a feast. Is today a special occasion? Oh, by the way, Mato, Miss Fujimura, there's someone I'd like to introduce you to. Huh? Who's that? Well, you see... Wow, this smells great! Now, don't forget your manners. Anyway, this little girl is a distant relative of mine here from abroad without a whole lot of advanced warning, I'm afraid. I realize it will be an inconvenience, but I was hoping that she could stay here with us for the time being. Hello, my name is Ilya Spiel. You're just like big sisters to me, so please call me Ilya. It's nice to meet you, and you can just call me Big Sis Fujimura. And my name's Sakura. She can be a little on the obnoxious side, so if she starts to annoy you, please try to remember she's just a child. Wow, that's so good! There's plenty for everyone, so feel free to eat all you want. Great! Come on now, Ilya. What's a well-mannered little girl supposed to say before she eats? Oh, please forgive me. Thanks for the food. You sure haven't eaten much, Rin. Don't worry if you're not very hungry. I'll be more than happy to eat your share for you. That's very nice of you, but... Good morning, Senpai.
I can't believe it, Sakura. It looks like you took care of all the morning chores for me. Thank you.
No problem.
By the way, Saber, about that talk we had earlier.
Shiro, personal matters at the table is bad for digestion.
Okay, sorry. What's so funny?
It's you and Saber, Senpai. You're acting like an old married couple.
Oh, we are?
This broth is quite excellent, Sakura. You should try it, Shiro. I think you'd enjoy it.
Excuse me, could you hand me the soy sauce? Sure. Thank you.
We interrupt the currently scheduled program to bring you this urgent late-breaking news story. Early this morning at Fuyuki City 5211 inside the Nakano
Don't tell me this is another gas leak accident.
was found unconscious on the 3rd floor of the
Accident.
Yamada Financial Offices. He's 35 years old. This brings the number of unexplained coma incidents to more than 30. Authorities recently
Doesn't this
announced
whole
that they
thing
have
give you the
moved to an
creeps?
even
I mean,
higher
our whole
state of
school
alert.
is closed down because of these leaks. Sakura, Miss Tosaka, you be careful out there. Everything will be fine. Oh, wow! Which one of these do you want, Sakura? You made them, so you should pick first. Thanks, but I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna go get the guest room ready for Ilya.
Hold on, Sakura. That can wait. I'll help you with it later.
Ooh, yummy! Hey, that was really sneaky of you, Ilya! Oh, wow, that one looks good too.
Not so fast, Eliasfield. Those two have already been set aside for Shiro and myself.
Wait a second, I didn't get a pick, so why should you?
Stop being a baby. Just do rock, paper, scissors.
All right, get ready to accept defeat! 1, 2, 3! Rock, paper, scissors! No way! The best out of 3! About that news report we heard.
The guy in the coma?
These incidents are getting to be much larger in scale. This mysterious master who's hiding at Ryudo Temple is starting to run rampant now that his archenemy Berserker is out of the picture. If we don't do something, there's no telling how far it will escalate.
We have to stop this guy.
Disregarding the assassin servant who guards the path to the temple, there's the issue of all the people who live there. This makes launching an assault with Excalibur problematic.
Well, then how are we supposed to get past him?
Calm down, Shiro. We're just going to have to do some more research. It looks like you guys are trying to come up with a strategy. Can I join in too? Little girls like you should wait outside and play. No way! I've played innocent little girl all morning and it's exhausting. If you listen, I've got the inside info on what you're talking about. But maybe I'll go outside and play instead.
What do you know, Ilya?
That stuff they were talking about on the news wasn't the work of Ryudo Temple's master. Castor is the one who's doing it. Wait just a minute. Are you saying that the master at Ryudo Temple isn't the one who's behind all the coma incidents? You're not getting it. There's not just one servant at Ryudo Temple, there's 2. There's Assassin of the Killer class, and then there's Castor of the Magus class.
So you're telling us that there's a master up there who somehow got himself 2 servants?
Yep, but the person who summoned up Assassin was actually Castor. Can't be. A servant shouldn't have the power to summon up another servant on their own. Sure they can. If you're a Magus, then you can summon up whoever you want. I mean, come on. Who do you think the best Magus in the city is anyway? Of course. That makes sense. Castor is a Magus servant. So she just used that power to summon a servant like Assassin. So who's the master at Ryudo Temple then? Castor is a world-class Magus. She doesn't really need a master if she doesn't want one. She killed the master who summoned her within seconds. And then, not long after that, she hid herself away at Ryudo Temple. Her current master isn't a Magus. He's just some ordinary human. He's nothing more than Castor's puppet.
How could she do that? How could she turn around and kill the master she had just formed a pact with?
I'm not surprised. When I heard she's actually Medea, it made sense.
Medea?
She's a backstabbing witch who dates back to Greek mythology. So that's who Castor really is. In that case, assassins are only real problem. By herself, Castor really won't pose that big of a problem for Saber.
You believe we should assault Ryudo Temple then?
We're gonna have to. There's been too much collateral damage as it is. We have to stop it.
He's right. And if the master at Ryudo Temple is just some ordinary human, then... Yeah, I already told you he wasn't a Magus, so someone like him won't be any problem for you guys.
Amiya, are you home?
Hey, what brings you here, Issei?
Well, I was just called in by Mr. Kuzuki on some student council business. And on my way to school, I thought I should drop by and check up on you since you've been absent for a while.
Well, thanks. So Mr. Kuzuki's at school today too, huh?
Yes, he set out early this morning as usual. As you know, Emiya, there's always pressing matters for the student council.
Wait a second. How did you know that Mr. Kuzuki had already left for school?
Well, that's quite easy, actually. We happen to live under the same roof.
What are you talking about?
My goodness, have I forgotten to mention that? Forgive me. You see, Mr. Kuzuki has been living at the Ryudo Temple for the past 3 years now.
You don't seriously think that Mr. Kuzuki is the master at Ryudo Temple?
Well, he's not a Magus, and his story completely fits with what Ilya told us earlier. If you ask me, this is at least worth looking into.
Well, how do we go about just looking into it?
Mr. Kuzuki's at school, right? We'll do a little meddling and make sure he goes home late. Then we'll lie in wait and attack him when he does. We'll do it tonight.
But what if we're wrong about him?
We won't do anything drastic. We're just going to determine whether or not he's a master. I'll just give him a little tap with the Gondor shot, and if I'm wrong, he'll be laid up in bed with a cold for a few days. I promise I'll go as easy on him as I can. We can't afford to hesitate on this, Shiro.
If he's going straight to Ryudo Temple after school, then he'll have to pass by here.
I've gone ahead and set up a barrier around this whole area just to be safe. If we get spotted, the game's up. But if this turns into a fight, it'll be completely soundproofed.
Listen, Tosaka. Do you really think Mr. Kuzuki has what it takes to be the master at Ryudo Temple?
Well, after tonight, we'll know for sure. Shh! He's close. Get ready, Shiro. It deflected off him. Teleportation.
I believe I warned you this might happen, Master Soichiro. I told you you should remain at Ryudo Temple just in case something like this should occur.
I would argue the opposite, that our prey finally took the bait.
That's true. However, our catch tonight doesn't appear to be very big, does it? All right. Come on out, my foolish little Magus.
Okay, Saber, time to get ready. Shiro, wait for the signal.
Trace on.
What do you think you're doing?
Well, I see that you catch on quickly, young man.
Emiya and Tosaka, is it? Well, it's not just Mato who's a Magus now, but these two as well. You may be masters, but I don't envy your lot in life.
Kuzuki, what kind of control does Castor have over you right now?
What makes you ask me that question, Emiya? There must be a reason behind it. Tell me.
I may be wrong, but you're just a human, right? Not a Magus. And if that's the case, then I thought you might not be aware of what Castor is really up to.
And what exactly is Castor up to?
She set up shop at Ryudo Temple and is collecting mana from people in town. She's the one behind all of those mass comas that have been happening. If she isn't stopped, it's only a matter of time before someone actually dies.
I see. So what's the problem, Emiya?
You're joking, right?
The only issue I have is the way Castor's going about doing it. Instead of taking half their lives, it would be more efficient if she took all of it at once.
Are you telling me that you don't care if innocent people die because of this?
Not one bit. If you feel the need to label it, then I suppose it's evil. But I honestly don't care how many innocent people die to get what I want.
Kuzuki, what kind of a monster are you?
It's true. I'm not a Magus. I have no interest in these ridiculous Grail Wars. I'm the kind of merciless killer that you'd find rotting in the dark corners of society.
If that's true, then you should have no qualms with dying here. Right, Castor's master? Impossible.
Caster, enhance my fists.
As you wish.
I'm impressed you dodged that. Was it your swift intuition, or rather your dynamic visual acuity?
Saber!
How is this even possible?
Most assume that a master's role is nothing more than rear support. But there's always an exception to every rule. For certain masters, their only asset is the ability to take an active role in the fighting. Caster, I clearly recall asking you to kill all the other masters.
My apologies, Master Soichiro. However, if you don't mind, I would very much like to deal the final blow to Saber, leaving the other two masters for you.
As you wish. It doesn't matter how good a Magus is. Interrupt them mid-incantation and they are rendered helpless.
You bastard! They're gonna kill us. If I don't stop him, I'm dead. And not just me, but Tosaka. And Saber too. A weapon. I need a really good weapon. That's right. Just like the ones he used.
Visualize something that will allow you to defeat him. That is the only skill you have.
Trace on! Don't double check it. Just create it. Visualize it and make it real. Tell yourself there's no difference between reinforcement and duplication. Hurry up. It's not just my life that's at stake here.
Kancho, Bakuya, how did you...
Caster, I'm the one that you must deal with! Just stop. Listen, what do you say we cease this barbaric fighting and you all join forces with us instead? Don't be ridiculous!
Just what is it that you propose?
Your objective, like ours, is to obtain the Holy Grail, correct? If that's the case, why are we fighting? I know how to call forward the Grail without having to kill each other.
You can do that?
I have figured out how the Holy Grail works. If you agree to cooperate, I will gladly share the blessings of the Holy Grail with you all.
And just how do you intend on getting your hands on the Holy Grail?
This area is endowed with a spiritual ley line powerful enough to call down the Grail. All we're missing is something with enough mana to act as the key component in summoning the Grail. Once we have that, the power of the Grail will be ours.
Yes, that's fine in theory, but just how many souls are you willing to burn through, Caster, in order to attain the massive amount of mana this little scheme of yours will require?
What?
Let me think. To simply summon the Grail, I would probably need the souls of every person in this city to achieve that, but that still won't be enough to keep it working indefinitely. But there are far too many humans in this world as it is. I'm sure I could always find more. There's plenty of logs to throw on the fire, if you know what I mean.
Logs for the fire.
One more question. This key component you need to summon the Grail. That person would have to be a Magus, wouldn't they? The only ones who can touch the Holy Grail are servants, but the only ones who can summon it are masters, who are also Magi. Unfortunately, that master of yours isn't part of the Magi. So to attain the Grail, you had to find a substitute, didn't you?
What are you talking about? A substitute for what?
To sacrifice. That woman is trying to offer a Magus as a human sacrifice for the Holy Grail.
Human sacrifice is such an ugly way of putting it. I will simply use a master as a means to ignite the mana. Most likely, the Magus won't be able to withstand the power and will implode the instant the Grail is called down. It's truly the ultimate sacrifice. So then, you're all going to die regardless. But shouldn't one of you be big enough to sacrifice themselves so another's wish may be granted?
Shiro, Rin, don't listen to a word she says.
No, of course not.
Oh, well, what a pity. But fortunately for me, there's still another suitable Magus besides the two of you.
Who else could there be?
She wouldn't. She plans to go after Elia. Saber, you have to get home.
Right. Sakura! Sakura!
Saber.
It's all right. I'm here. Sakura!
You got careless, Saber. This is my noble phantasm. It negates all other sorcery. Rule breaker.
Just what exactly does that mean?
This girl's mana levels weren't strong enough for me to wipe out the pact you have with your master. But I was able to take away your trump card. I'm afraid you'll no longer be able to use that special sword of yours.
What?
What happened? Are you okay?
It's Sakura. Castor has...
Sakura!
This girl will be the perfect sacrifice to call forth the Grail. She's full of latent magic circuits. If you two think you can save her, then meet me at my temple.
Sakura! Sakura!
Fate, stay night. Next time, decisive battle.